Hi everybody, my name is America. I'm very pleased to meet you all. Welcome to my channel. I am just starting. This is my first video, so let's jump right into it. I actually have a little garden in my patio. I live in an apartment and I wanted to go through all of the plants that I have currently in there, starting with this one. This one was given to me by a friend, and as you can see, there's lots of growth. I don't know what it's called, and I'm so sorry. I'm not a professional, but I do know that it's about 5 years old. This little plant right here is actually going to be a rose bush. I actually just trimmed it down this week, and it started to sprout out a lot of new leaves. All of these leaves up here are brand new, and hoping to turn it into a bush someday. It's work in progress for sure. Now the next one, I'm going to show a quick little time lapse. This is my oxalis. I don't know if that's the full name, but check out that awesome time lapse, and this is what it looks like today. This plant, I am just so taken aback by this plant. It actually has little buds here in the center. It's gonna take me a second to focus it, but these little buds, they turn into this really pretty pink flower that you might have seen here a couple seconds ago. But here's a really close-up picture of what it actually looks like. It's a really pretty flower and just kind of hangs there. But I also love this plant because of what it does at night. It actually closes up just like that little one that you see there. It closes up, it kind of falls to sleep, and I just absolutely love that. Now, moving on to my calla lily. This is actually a very special flower for me. I actually held bouquet of calla lilies for my wedding. I had 3 calla lilies, and I still have them. They're all dried up now, of course, but I love this flower. It's just the plain white calla lily. So now, if you notice, there's a little box down in the bottom right hand corner. This is actually pale rose peony seeds. I am actually kind of upset about this with myself. I didn't read it completely, and I absolutely was convinced that these were actually peony seeds, like the real flower, but they are not. As you can see in the little box, I opened it up. I'm trying to propagate them, and I don't know if it's going to happen. And I honestly don't really care because it's more of a poppy than a peony. And so I was looking at the seeds and I thought, wait a second, these don't even look right. So anyways, we'll see what happens with this. I'm not too excited about it. This here is kind of a long story. I've recently gotten into bonsai, and so I took a few cuttings from around my area, and I do have a few in a little bucket of water trying to get them to root, and they are actually growing. A couple of them are growing. That's another story for another time, but I can definitely make a video if anybody is interested. So the next couple of plants that I have in the back, sorry, I'm showing you the growth here of some of the cuttings, but the next plants that I have in the back, I'm actually kind of sad about because they do not look too good. They actually started out looking kind of like this, and so as you can tell, they're not doing that great. I'm still hopeful, but that one looks really bad. So this sums up my shelf plants. These are all the plants that I have sitting on the shelf, and we're going to go ahead and move over to all my floor plants. And so you'll start to see here on the side that I have a bunch of little pots here, and I'm very excited about these. These are actually my ranunculus. I think that's how you call them, but the flower is gorgeous. It will actually look something like this. I am so excited about these. I just planted them today. The seed is actually quite funny. I actually had to go through a process with the seed, but these are the pots that I put them in. There's 2 in each pot, but check out this seed. It started out as a little dried, shriveled up seed on the left, and it swelled up to what it looks like on the right. Now, the bananas are the roots that go down, and the plant will actually sprout up from the top. And it's just so funny. That's what's poking out from that the little pots there. So I'm really excited about this. Really, really excited. Now, this next little pot here, the single pot on the floor, is actually just a seed that I found in one of my cuttings for either Japanese or Chinese maple. I'm not really sure. That's also part of the bonsai stories, so we'll see what happens with that. This next little pot is just a cutting that I took from the plant that's right next to it. I didn't plan on having it grow or anything. I just kind of stuck it in there and I forgot to take it out for the video. But this is the mother plant, and I have no idea what this plant is called, but most Hispanic families have that plant. This next little plant here is actually a flowering plant, and it comes in bulbs. I had no idea I had this plant and that it bloomed like this. It just surprised me out of nowhere. It started to grow one day. I guess my in-laws, one of my father-in-law's dad gave it to him or something. I'm not really sure, but now I have it. So this plant right here, I don't know a lot about. I tried scanning it with a plant identifier app, and the best result that I got was actually a taro root plant, but I'm not sure, and it's got tons of growth, so I need to separate that. And this last one is kind of a sad one. My oh gosh, and I just lost my lavender plant. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to cut it that far down to the woody area, and I sure did. I should have done more research, but I'm actually very happy that there is a lot of new growth. You'll see here on this side, there's a lot of new growth. It's not dead because when I trimmed it down, everything was green. The branches were green. So I guess what I'm saying is, I know that it will grow. I'm hoping that it will grow. And so these two plants are actually sitting on a little bench that was made from a twin bed. I bought it at a yard sale and I absolutely love it. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years now, and those, we'll call them my bench plants. And so that's a quick little summary of my garden. Those are my floor plants again. My patio is really, really small. I have no control over that thing being dirty. I actually do want to wash it down a little bit harder. Hopefully it helps. But before I move on, I want to talk to you guys about my indoor plants, and I actually have a pilea, and it's really small still. I don't know how big it's gonna get, but I had 2 orchids and one of them died. This one is a baby orchid, a small orchid. And this one right here is called Hierba Santa in Spanish. I do know that it's used in Oaxacan cuisine in their foods such as tamales. I don't know what it's called in English, so I am sorry. I'm not a professional, but I do my best to research all my plants, although any help is appreciated. Thank you so much for touring my garden, and I hope you have a great day.